That was a good clap. Maybe this will be a good video. Oh boy, who are we kidding? There's this crazy notion that men and women are interchangeable, indistinguishable the one from the other. There's this notion, foolish, incredibly foolish, that parents are a mother, a father, it's all the same, And that's why, lesbian couples and homosexual couples adopting children or having children of their own somehow, that's perfectly reasonable because, they're all the same. They're all interchangeable, Men and women, there's no difference between them. Men and women, there's no difference between them. What utter and complete bullshit, right? Utter and complete bullshit, because men and women are radically different in every respect: the physical, the mental, the psychological, and how they parent. radically different. Okay, I'm a parent, right? Let me tell you a story, or let me rephrase it. Let me tell you two stories about my kid, my 3-year-old toddler, my son, right? I've got two toddlers. I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. My 5-year-old daughter, she's a wonderful little girl. She's going to be an outstanding young lady. I know that for a fact. And my son, my 3-year-old, well, he's a 3-year-old, right? And he gets into all kinds of trouble. And, he's got tantrums and all the rest of it. And see, this happened this past winter when he was actually 2 and 2.5, 2 3/4, whatever. This past winter, we were here in Ukraine. And in Ukraine, of course, because of the snow, because it's Ukraine, because of the snow, there are a lot of children's play centers that are indoors. Okay? And they have all kinds of toys and doodads and this, that, and the others for the kids to play in, right? And so I took my son, and there were these plastic motorcycles, okay? And he wanted to get on them. These plastic motorcycles, the kids would get on them and they wouldn't pedal them, it would just go with their feet kind of thing, okay? So my son wanted to get on the motorcycle, and his mother, what would she do? He'd whine that he wanted to get on the motorcycle, and she'd just very naturally pick him up and put him on the motorcycle, right? And he'd go and play and then get off the motorcycle and run around, play with his little friends or the kids there, what have you, and then come back to the motorcycle and he wanted to get on again, right? And he'd whine about it, and his mother would pick him up and put him on the motorcycle, and off he'd go again. Now, when he came to me that he wanted to get on the motorcycle, when he came and whined to me about it, what did I do as his father? I didn't pick him up and put him on the motorcycle. No, of course not. I taught him how to get on it. And that's what I did. Now, the reasons for it were actually rather selfish on my part. I didn't want to be annoyed by him coming at me, every 2 minutes, throwing a little mini tantrum that he wanted to get on the motorcycle. I just wanted to teach him so that he wouldn't hassle me again. Because I'm a father, I'm lazy, Mothers are very diligent, right? And they are willing to put up with tantrums all the time. Fathers, we don't have the patience for it. So what I did was I took the time and the effort to show him how to grab the handlebar, right? Plant one foot, his left foot, swing his right leg over the motorcycle and get on it, right? I taught him this. It took me, 2, 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't know how long it took me. It couldn't have taken me very long. But the point was key, because after that, my son didn't need either his mother or me to get on the motorcycle. He knew how to get on the motorcycle now. He knew how to get on it, and he was quite proficient. Because when I taught him, I told him to get off it and get on it 2, 3 times until he mastered it, until he felt confident in what he was doing. Until he felt that he knew exactly where to put his hands, where to put his feet, how to swing his leg over. And he was on his way. He didn't need his parents anymore. He didn't need his parents anymore. Another story, also with my kid. This happened, 2, 3 months ago. The kid wanted cookies, right? Of course kids want cookies, right? The one with the chocolate chips in them and all the rest of it, right? Okay, so he wants cookies, but they're in a cupboard, okay? High up on the kitchen, right? And so, what does he do? Well, the little shit figured out that if he took this step that he uses actually for the potty, if he took this step from the bathroom to the kitchen and plants it there in front of the counter, he can get on the little step and then put his palms on the counter, and with the stickiness and the sweat of a 3-year-old, right? He can grab onto the formica or whatever the hell the stuff is, and the friction will hold him so he can pull himself up, and he'll swing his leg up and get on the counter, right? And from there, once he's on the counter, he can go up and open the cupboard, and it's actually one of those cupboards that swings like that, not like that, right? So he can open the cupboard, and he knows how to scrunch down, and open the cupboard, reach in and get the cookies, right? And eat the cookies, of course. Now, of course, his mother saw this and was horrified. And she, instantly grabbed him, yanked him off the kitchen counter and plopped him down on the ground and said, "Never do that ever again," right? And the kid, he's 3 years old. His mother is yelling at him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I won't do it again," Typical. What did I do? Very simple. I encouraged him to do it. I said, "You want a cookie? Go get one." And he was like, "But mommy said I can't." "Is mommy around?" "No, go get it." I went directly against his mother's impulse, because that's my job as a father. Because my job as a father is to teach him autonomy. My job as a father is to teach him how to negotiate the world and which rules to break and which rules to adhere to. There are some rules that I am very inflexible with him, like, for instance, TV, junk food. No junk food and a very limited amount of television, not more than an hour on any given day, and hopefully days that he doesn't even watch any television or looks at any screen, right? Be it computer or tablet or whatever. I'm very diligent and strict about those rules. But other rules, the kid is learning that, well, they're sort of like flexible, and other rules, he has to break them. Now, the kid he doesn't even need the step stool to get up on the counter to get the cookies. He can do it all on his own. He's figured out a way to get on it, and with the friction of his sticky hands, hold on to the counter, yank himself up, and he sort of like scrambles his little feet up, his little feet, sneakers pushing up against the lower, cupboard, cabinet things, right? The cabinet doors, rather. And kicking against them and scuffing them, of course. And he gets on the counter, and he gets up and he gets the cookie or the potato chip or whatever the hell his mother is hiding away from him, right? And his mother is furious at me, furious at the kid. And the kid and I are in a silent, tacit agreement that when mom isn't around, he just goes up there and climbs on the counter and gets whatever he wants to eat. Now, his mother isn't really concerned about the junk food that he's eating. His mother is concerned that he's going to fall and hurt himself, and that's perfectly reasonable and perfectly understandable. The job of mothers is to protect the child from the world. I mean, there's a reason that a mother, what does she do with a crying baby? She, brings the child into her arms and cups the child against her breast and feeds the child and soothes the child. And that is a wonderful thing. And that is a wonderful feeling that the mother has and that the child has. It's good and wholesome, and there's nothing wrong with it. But there is something terribly wrong when that is the only parental emotion. When it's only soothing the child, when it's only giving in to his little tantrum, when it's only trying to make him feel good, as opposed to challenging him, as opposed to pushing him to achieve. His mother, quite frankly, was sort of like lax on the whole potty training thing. I was the one who kept telling, you gotta hold it in. And when you gotta go to the bathroom, just say, I gotta go to the bathroom, and we'll take you to the bathroom. I was the one who sort of like pushed him. And his mother was like, well, the other day you said him not to pee, and he didn't pee the whole day. He was about to explode. I knew, of course, that the kid wasn't going to explode, okay? Because children, when they hold in their pee, they don't explode. They're not like a fucking balloon or something like that, okay? If they hold it on too long, it'll eventually just come out. And no harm, no foul, no big deal, okay? But the point I'm trying to make, see, a father pushes the child forward. And the problem that we are having in our society is that, see, since we've come to this idiotic notion that men and women are the same in all regards, even though they're not, therefore parents are the same. Mother, father, it's the same goddamn thing. And since they're supposed to be the same goddamn thing, they act the same. And the fathers are encouraged to act like mothers. They're encouraged to give aid and comfort to the child all the time, instead of pushing the child, because if the job of mothers is to give comfort to the child, the job of fathers is to push the child out into the world and to little by little learn the tricks and the rules and all the little things that you need to know in order to get out in the world, in order to get out into the world and experience the world. And it's so frustrating, because there are so many young men especially who were raised by single mothers. Now, I'm not shitting on single mothers, okay? People think that, my channel is like, I just shit on single mothers 24/7. No, I'm not shitting on single mothers. I'm not putting them down. But what I am saying is that what they are teaching their children, their boy children, their sons, is not how to behave as a man out in the world. We already have now almost three generations of children raised by mothers. And these men are weak because they haven't been taught, they haven't been pushed forward and encouraged to interact with the world, to go out there and take their lumps and take their scrapes and perhaps fall down and get up and do it again, try again. No. They have been comforted relentlessly by their mothers. And you say, well, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. But if it's the only parenting that the child receives, if it's the only education that the boy receives, then that boy is going to turn out weak. He's going to turn out weak and not able to handle himself in the world. Why do you think that there are so many young people today, especially men, who live with their parents, who live at home, in the home that they grew up in? They live in their old room that's still decorated like they were 12 years old. What the hell is that all about? That's fucking crazy. It is. It's fucking crazy. And what's going on? It's because the mothers of these children, the mothers of these boy men, they keep indulging them. They keep indulging them and telling them, oh, what do you want, or whatever. And sometimes these mothers get very resentful because at their core, these single mothers or these parents where both the father and the mother acted like mothers, well, these parents grow resentful of their child because they recognize that their child is not capable of fending for himself. But the problem is that it's not really the kid's fault, or it is to an extent, but it's as much the kid's fault as the parents, as the single mother, because the kid was not encouraged and pushed to engage with the world the way a father, a real father, does. I'm so glad that my kid, 3 years old, he stands up to his mother and breaks the rules and goes up and climbs and gets the fucking cookie or the chips or whatever the hell he wants. I'm so glad. Because he's breaking a rule, but he's learning autonomy. He is learning how to fend for himself. He's learning how to go out there and get what he wants without help from anybody. That's a man. The little shit is like 3 years old. He gets up to barely my waist, right? He's 3 years old, but he's already a little man, And he is. Because when he decides on something, he goes and gets it. At first, he whines to his mother, which is the natural thing. He whines and says, Mommy, I want this, blah, blah, blah. And then You know, when his mother says no, he decides, fuck it, I'm gonna go and get it. And he gets it. A couple of times he's like basically shoplifted some shit from the supermarket, although he is too small to recognize the concept of shoplifting. He wasn't really stealing, he just took things that he wanted. And we were like, holy shit, what the hell is he doing? We had to return it. It was kind of funny. It was very funny, actually. But the point, which is a great point, that the kid decides, I want this. I am going to get it. If mommy won't give it to me, I'll just take it. Good man, good man. I'm very proud of my son, you know. Little shit, 3 years old, he's cool. He's a cool little shit. He's a cool and tough little guy, right? And of course he throws his tantrums, and of course he wants his mommy, and he's scared of the dark, and you know, some commercials on TV, some of them scare the shit out of him, right? Because he's 3, you know, it's perfectly normal, it's lovely, it's beautiful, right? But the thing is, see, what I'm so happy is that I'm fulfilling my obligation as his father. I am teaching him how to be independent. Single mothers, I have no doubt in my mind, they love their children, they love their sons, and they want their sons to be independent and strong. But the problem is that these single mothers raise these boys, didn't raise them, you know, just tied them up to their apron strings. That's the problem. They tied them up to the apron strings, and then when these boys are in their 20s, in their 30s, even in their 40s, for crying out loud, they still depend on their mother. Because our society has decided that, you know, fathers don't matter. And the fathers who try to impose a little bit of discipline, a little bit of independence in their sons, a little bit of gumption in them, what happens? They're knocked down. You know, they're vilified sometimes, you know. I mean, like, you know, when my kid climbs up on the counter of the kitchen, you know, and my son, because he's 3, told his mother, and she was horrified. She was like, what the hell, you know, he could get killed or whatever. Well, yeah, perhaps he could fall and hurt himself, perhaps quite badly, but it's necessary. You can't live in like a padded room, in a padded world. It's impossible. Mothers want that. Single mothers want that. But fathers know, or at least they should know, that the world is not padded. On the contrary, the world is filled with very sharp edges, with very rough patches. The world is a dangerous place. The world wants to kill you, basically. Wants to kill you and take everything you've got, including your life. It's the responsibility of fathers to teach their sons. Now, if you who are watching this, you're a father and you're unsure as to how to be a father, let me tell you. Let me tell you because I know, because I'm older. Not because I'm smarter, but just because I've been around longer. I know this. You have to push the kid. Push the kid forward. Nudge him out. Nudge him out of his comfort zone. Push him. You know, don't be an asshole about it. You know, don't yell and scream at him. Push him, because single mothers or the 2 parents where both parents are effectively mothers, you know, no, that's never going to happen. They're never going to get pushed. See, it's the father who has to do the pushing. It's the father who has to push the kid to push up against his limits and break through those limits. And once he has broken through those limits and established new limits, well, then push some more and break through those limits until the child, the boy, becomes fully a man. Because that's the thing, and that's the thing that I'm very thankful for insofar as my own son is concerned, is that he is breaking through his limitations and he is becoming a man. And that is my responsibility as a father. And it's something that single mothers or parents where both parents are mothers, well, they just can't do it because all they want to do is comfort the child. And the worst thing you can do for a boy is to comfort him. You have to push him. That's how he grows.